Hi, I'm Don Green and welcome to Crash Course. Today, we will be talking about the most important figure in modern day politics. No, it's not Obama. No, it's not John Boehner. Not Nancy Pelosi. Stan! It's not John Oliver. No. Today, we're going to be talking about John Marshall, who is a Supreme Court Justice, and although he doesn't have the same name recognition as other founding fathers, I would argue that he is one of, if not the most important one. Now, John Marshall was appointed by John Adams in his famous Midnight Justices Act of 1801, and he served all the way until 1835. So for 24 years, he was Chief Justice, the longest serving of any United States Supreme Court Justice. And to put that in perspective, if he were to retire today, he would have still been around when before the Soviet Union collapsed. Before we get to his big decisions, I'd like to start with his childhood, because that was a big deal for him. His dad was Thomas Marshall, who worked for a man named Ward Fairfax, who, beyond providing a living for the Marshalls, also provided John with books and literature for him to become more educated. Now, unfortunately for John, there was no formal education where he grew up, so he had to go away, where he met future President Donald Trump. James Monroe. And his dad was a huge influence from the very beginning. He wanted his son to become a lawyer, and that was a big driving force for his desire to become a lawyer. It's time for the mystery document? The rules here are simple. If I guess the author of the mystery document, I don't get shocked. If I don't, humiliation's galore. It is your destiny. Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Short one today, Stan. Well, considering we were just talking about it, I'm going to have to go with Thomas Marshall, because he wanted his son to become a lawyer from the very beginning, so that he could become more powerful, probably, I don't know. What? What does Darth Vader have to do with John Marshall? What? Stan! I hate this game. No, but in reality, John Marshall truly did love his father, and he even said about him, "And to his care I am indebted for anything valuable which I may have acquired during my youth. He was my only intelligent companion and was both a watchful parent and an affectionate friend." So now that we've gotten the motivation behind John Marshall, let's go on to his big decisions. And his most famous one, probably, that is Marbury versus Madison, where he gave his own job the right to do his job by doing his job before... It doesn't matter. It established judicial review, and essentially it led to many other important decisions. So, for example, the gay marriage decision earlier this year, that was because of Marbury versus Madison. It's the reason that black and white kids can go to school, go to the same school, because of Brown v. Board of Education. And overall, it really established the Supreme Court as a third essential branch of the United States government, which pissed Thomas Jefferson off to no end, who was like his arch rival of the day. Now, his second really important decision was McCulloch versus Maryland, where he established federalism, essentially, and that the federal government has more power than the state government, which was important because it didn't have to do with this case, but earlier when John Adams enacted the Sedition Act, some of the states, like Virginia, said, we are going to void it because we have states' rights. But later, with McCulloch versus Maryland, John Marshall said, no, that's not really how it works. The federal government has superseding laws over the states. And if you think about it, this really kind of led to the entire Civil War. I mean, if there was not federalism established, although the Civil War was about slavery, the South argued it was about states' rights. And if they didn't have that argument, thanks to John Marshall, it wouldn't have ever happened. And the Civil War was a good thing overall. It was kind of bad, but it led to two good things: the abolition of slavery and General Burnside. Look at that beard. Look at that beard. It's great. Now, this decision alone is why I would argue that John Marshall is probably the most important founding father. When politicians are arguing about whether Obama is some Muslim terrorist trying to kill us, or some atheist terrorist trying to kill us, or some Christian fundamentalist trying to kill us, they're arguing about how big the federal government should be in respect to the states. I mean, all you heard in the Republican debates was Donald Trump saying how huge the federal government was and how to shrink it. And so it's pretty much the center of all debates in modern day politics. And his decisions above Jefferson's policies or Madison's ideas have withstood the test of time. The benefit of being a Supreme Court justice is that your decisions, for the most part, last. And whether he wanted to or not, he changed America forever because he was on the Supreme Court. Thanks for watching.